Yeah. Oh, is that me? Am I good to go? Whew. Well, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, all 40,000 of you, or all one of you, depending on what the viewer count says at any given minute. It's good to be here. I am joined today by a single commentator, CapnWiffle.
Hello. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you, Wiffle. We are the current #1 and #2 on the leaderboard for this category. So you'll get some high quality commentary today. Also, shout outs to the person in GDQ chat who reminded me that I didn't make my bed during my interview, so I totally just made my bed just for you guys. So don't say I never did anything for you, Twitch chat. So anyway, I don't have too much time to talk about this, so I want to get some stuff out of the way. This is a very complicated speed game. This is Ratchet and Clank NG+, or Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, New Game Plus, No Quit exploit. It's a mouthful and a half. All you need to know is that I have all of the weapons that I need already unlocked because it is a challenge mode run, and this is the complete version of New Game Plus. So I want to talk about some movement tech really quick because we're going to be spitting a lot of information. If I talk about the basic movement tech now, it saves us a lot of effort later on. So the basic thing that you'll be seeing me use to move around is the charge boots. The charge boots are very simple. You double tap R1 and you fly forward like that with these little boots. And that puts Ratchet at his max speed of 0.43 meters per second. That is not a made-up number. That is actually calculated. And so what we do is we cancel the charge and we enter first person for just a couple of frames. And when we do that, we store our momentum, and we can use it to long jump, we can use it to side flip, we can chain movement together, like I can do it up here, side flip into a long jump. Well, I mess up the long jump, but that's okay, you get the point. There's some other movement tech involving this whip right here. I can charge forward and use it to get a really extended long jump. There's turret proxies where I can turn my horizontal momentum into vertical momentum, such as right here. I can also instantly whip. If I start with the turret out, I can swap some weapons around and get the turret out immediately. Basically, the conceit of the movement in this game is you cancel your charge and then you store your momentum. So I think that about covers the absolute basics. Wiffle, do you think am I missing anything in particular? Did any oversights so far?
I think that was pretty comprehensive on the basic movement tech, yeah.
Yeah, so I am, it's basically a time-honored tradition in marathon runs for the runner to kind of let the commentators take over for the first few planets of this game. I will say this, the last time this category was featured at a GDQ was AGDQ 2016. That was my very first GDQ and my very first GDQ run. My final time was 34:19, and so I'm just hoping that I can, at the very least, beat that and go under estimate. So we'll see how this goes. The way that loading works in this game is we use Speed Demo's archive timing, so we start on first input, not on when you load the file. So what's going to happen is you're going to see 3 load screens, and then the planets show up, and then from the planet showing up, we count down from 4. So I'm going to begin the load sequence now.
Your Discord stream is paused.
Oh, is it? Oh. Is it unpaused?
No.
Okay, well, we'll wing it. Okay, this is load screen number 3. All right, and now 4, 3, 2, 1, begin.
Okay, so the very first thing you're going to see is a very intense menu where he sets up all of the weapons and gadgets that he's going to need for the run. There's a very extensive arsenal, as you might guess from the name of the game, and then he's immediately going to go into a charge, into a neutral side flip to start getting around the level. You'll see he uses the charge boots throughout the run, as he explained, and he got that straight away. That's really good. Into a proxy long jump to reach the first cutscene. And now what he's going to do is set up a trick for the next planet. Actually, he's going to death abuse off this cliff here into the drop ship trigger to trigger the next phase of the planet. And what that does, dying in the dropship there, is set up a glitch on the next planet, which is PS3 exclusive, and hopefully what we'll see when we get to the next planet is he'll warp straight to the final boss of that planet, which is very crazy. Here on this planet right now, we're going to see the first real good example of a turret proxy, where he's going to charge at a cliff and be rocketed straight up into the air by throwing a turret. And he got that straight away. That's a very good first planet there. That's a good start to the run.
All right, here's hoping. Yes. All right, sick.
Okay, he got it. That's great. I can't see that because I'm just looking at the stream same as everyone else. But that's great to hear.
I'm sorry. Wait here. Stream pause. Swap to your application to resume. Okay. Hopefully that should be working for you now.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so now coming up, we're on the VR section. This is like we're on Starship Phoenix, which is like the hub world of this game. But there's actually an area which is supposed to be only accessible once you've done 3 more planets, I believe. But what we're going to do, we're going to see the first example of a turret clip. He's going to place 2 turrets that are going to push him through this wall and get out of bounds, and let him get to this cutscene slightly faster than he would usually. But now that he's out of bounds, he can go over to a different area of the ship, which is supposed to only be loaded way later into the game. And then he's going to clip out and do a whip jump, which we'll see is the biggest jump you can do. That looks amazing. And he's going to get into a section called VR, which, as I say, is only accessible later in the game if you're playing casually. And that's going to let us sequence break the game and get straight to the 6th or 7th planet in the run, which is a massive skip. And this is one of the coolest skips in the game conceptually. It skips so much, and that's a really good VR. That's very well done.
Yeah,
and we're going to be... sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I put a little bit too much mustard on that whip jump, and I kind of had to play it a little safe. The very first whip jump into VR, so it was a little slow for my liking, but I'll take it all the same. Any marathon run without a death in the first few planets is one I'm happy with.
Yeah, for sure. They're, like 90% of runs of this category don't make it past the early game. I'd say there's probably a 50% chance that you reset on any given planet out of the first 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So now we're coming on Dax, and we're going to see the only use of the hypershot in this game. He's going to use the hypershot to carry momentum from a charge to hover all the way to a cutscene over here, and that skips a large section of this planet. And now what we're seeing, the shot cannon is the most broken weapon in the game, because what you can do if you charge up a charge shot with it, you can sort of weave back and forth and hit enemies 3 or 4 times if you're fast enough, and that's gonna give us the highest DPS of pretty much any weapon combo in the game. We'll talk more on that later. Now he's going up to the left side of Dax to get the other cutscene. Oh, he just missed that proxy there, unfortunately.
No! All right, that's fine. Sorry.
No, that's fine. There's a very quick backup turret clip we can do here to get to the end of the level.
No! Oh,
very close.
I was so happy for a second. I could not stop smiling after that warship fight. Fun fact: I have done 3 different GDQ related runs of this game, and all 3 of those runs died on the whip jump after the warship. And for the very first time, I finally have a GDQ run where I don't die on that.
Wow.
So I'll take it.
Congrats.
Thank you.
So we're coming up on Obani Gemini, which is a rather unique planet. The gravity on this planet is, or it's a moon actually, it's not a planet. It's slightly different to all the other planets. It's spherical instead of flat, I guess.
Yeah, it's like if you guys remember the game Sphere from Drake and Josh, it's just like that. It's spherical, yeah.
And that allows us to do a rather unique trick where we carry momentum from a thruster pack long jump into a helipack long jump. This is, in my opinion, the hardest trick in the run at the minute.
Oh, all right, I'm gonna go for it again.
He just barely missed it. He was slightly too far forwards on the setup there.
Yeah, it's sorry, you go for it.
A 2-frame link to chain those 2 long jumps together. And the positioning and angle are also rather hard. So it's a combination of factors, really.
No,
almost. Just the angle was slightly off there.
Yeah.
But we can just charge to the level, and this loses about 8 seconds if you don't do the the cool strat.
Yeah, I'll be losing roughly 30 to like a really good run, but obviously it doesn't really matter as long as, well, you guys would never have known if I didn't tell you, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Yeah, so now we're out of the gauntlet of the early game.
Yeah, it was a very good early game. Now we get a bit of a breather on the next 2 planets.
Yeah, I'll take it. You know, I'm not super thrilled about it, but I'll take it, all things considered. Fun little fact. I'm not trying to like incur sympathy out of people or whatever, but I spent all day today at the hospital, and that was not fun. So I didn't get a lot of time to warm up the game beforehand, so I'll take whatever I can get this run. But yeah, don't worry, chat. I know that's a little Monka-esque, but I'm fine. Everything's all good.
He's okay now, as far as we know.
As far as we know. I mean, I am. Well, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna say something I'm not gonna say. You go ahead and talk about Blackwater, Wiffle.
Okay, so the next planet coming up, and the planet after this one as well, is based on a series of missions where we basically just have to kill enemies as soon as possible, which is slightly different from the very movement-heavy first few planets, but the hard part of these next 2 planets is managing your quick select wheel so that you don't have to switch weapons in a way that loses time. And that's a very sort of complicated... I see he opened the map there, just to make sure he knows where he's going.
Yeah, just gotta make sure.
Yeah.
It's the map, you can toggle the map by hitting R3, and so sometimes runners will just fat finger R3, and it's really funny. Because it's just the dumbest way to lose like a second and a half. I think I should be good here on the death abuse. And we're good, yeah.
So what we're seeing here, usually on the PS2 version of this game, you're able to just quit out of the mission as soon as it's done, but on PS3, the game has to save, and that will stop you from quitting out of the mission until it's finished saving. So what we do instead is die, and that immediately quits you out of the mission, but still completes it, providing you have completed the mission already. So that's the most optimal way. So you have to time your death abuse to make sure the mission is completed, and that's a very silly way to lose runs, but it does happen very often as well. We'll see he's moving into the final mission on Blackwater here.
Yeah, losing runs to bad death abuses is probably the most despair-ridden way to lose runs in this game. It's you feel stupid every single time, and it happens.
You've made it through the hardest part of the game, and then it's all snatched away by hubris.
True. Oh, by the way, since I have all of your undivided attention and there's nothing you can do to stop me, can I get a gift sub? Can somebody gift me a sub to GDQ? And Wiffle, while you're at it, CapnWiffle.
You do this every time.
It'd be sick if you did, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, so we're coming up on Marcadia, and we're going to see another example of a proxy long jump, where he's going to switch to the turrets and then immediately long jump out of this this proxy to make it to the second section of the level. That skips the entire sort of movement-based area on this planet, and we're going to see some more shooter-based missions here. As he's just going to snipe a few Tyrannoid dropships. Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, I believe it was Tempistral in the chat. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that. I may have just completely butchered it. But they asked a question, is PS3, like, I think they said something along the lines of why is PS3 faster? And the short answer is loads. The long answer is, for a very long time, we assumed PS2 was faster than PS3, and it was. We were right about that, but that was because we did not allow solid-state drives in the community yet. Once we allowed solid-state drives, we learned that a PS3 with a solid-state drive is significantly faster than PS2 by roughly a minute. So it would have been like relatively even without the solid-state drive, maybe a little bit more PS2 favored just for playability's sake. But now it's just wholly in PS3's camp. Yeah, just like PS3 is just so much faster, and it's nicer to play on than PS2 as well. So it's got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, sure.
It's chilling it out and taking it slow, and then it's gonna rock out the show. What am I doing? Okay, I'm on mission 2. Yes, here I am in my room playing a video game that I've played a trillion times, and I know where I'm going. All right.
Very easy to slip into muscle memory on this mission.
This trick is luck-based.
Yeah. Coming up now, we have a new trick that was just discovered where we skip the turret mission by throwing the Agents of Doom down, and they hopefully pop you up over the turret and let you do the mission normally. Hopefully he gets it within the first 5 or 6 tries. This
trick is stupid, and it's luck-based, and I hate it, and it's actually obsoleted. This strat is no longer optimal.
This strat was obsoleted like 2 days ago. The same guy who found this trick originally and was super beat up about the fact that he ruined the category, in air quotes, even though he didn't, found a completely consistent version of it, which we're now going to be using instead going forward. But the fact that it's obviously so new means Zem hasn't quite practiced it enough to do it here. But he managed to get it 4th try, I think that was. That's pretty okay, and that lets him do the turret mission sort of the same way he would any other mission, just by sniping the dropships, which is
so
much more enjoyable.
That's probably visually the easiest difference to spot between the run that's happening right now and the run that happened in 2016, is that in the 2016 run we did have to go inside that turret and use the turret to blow up all the ships, but it's faster if you get it doing that proxy that I just did. It's super fast. Obviously you can get it 1st or 2nd try, but I think it's still faster up to 5th try. I'm not 100% sure what the math is beyond 5th try, but essentially you might as well just always go for it if you're going to commit to that strat anyway, because it just hemorrhages time if you go for it a few times and then just commit to the turret strat. So at that point I was basically locked into doing the RNG strat, and thankfully I never have to do that strat ever again. So good riddance. Thanks for nothing, stupid strat. But yeah, like Wiffle was saying, there was a new strat. Oh, hold on, sorry. I told PlanetGhost she could read donations now. PlanetGhost, read donations.
Thank you for that. We've got a donation from Prop Hour for $25 who says 3 cheers for Doctors Without Borders, Ratchet and Clank, and for Zem making his bed. Got another one from Kumajaba for $10 who says rack hype. Always have to donate during rack runs as it's still one of my all-time favorite game series. And then one more from Marathon Man for $10 who says, hey Zem, can't believe it's been 4 years since the run that put you and this wonderful community on the map. So happy to see you show the world how incredibly fast and ferocious these speed games are. Good luck on going for a triple frame perfect sequence and hitting the Marathon Man Poggers walk.
Oh wait, yeah. Hold on. Speaking of PogChamp things to do, there we go. Mission 4 proxy for the fans.
The most actually manipulates the RNG in the rest of the run, so it'll be perfect if you go for Mission 4 proxy though.
Yeah, this one will be perfect from here on in. 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2. Okay, I have to count out that death abuse because I'm too smooth-brained to just count numbers in my head. So I have to commit to saying them out loud, like the missing link that I am. But anyway, Wiffle, do you want to talk about Ghost Ratchet?
Okay,
and how spooky it is.
Yeah, this is the final section of the missions on Marcadia, and at the end of this section, basically the next area of the game, usually if you're playing the game casually, would take place in the laser defense facility of Marcadia, but in the speedrun, it actually takes place in the afterlife. So what we're going to need to do is die at the end of this mission so that we can access that part of the game. And obviously, the main thing to remember, once you've died, you become a ghost. And the main thing you have to remember about ghosts is that they are able to move through walls wherever they should wish. So that's the fun way of explaining that trick. What actually happens is if you die at a certain point, it's cancelled by a cutscene. The game believes you're dead, and for some reason that lets you move through walls, which looks amazing. And this part of the game is one of the most visually pleasing, in my opinion. And that's
fun fact. Yeah, fun fact, I always make a safety save after this part of the run, because even though it's not super difficult, I mean, especially given how many other insane things I've already had to do this run, it's not that difficult. However, it is literally the most punishing mistake to die at this exact spot, because if you
minutes.
If you die while you have Ghost Ratchet, you lose Ghost Ratchet and you can't get it back. I mean, if there was a way to readily set it up, you could reactivate Ghost Ratchet. However, there was no way to do it on this planet other than dying in that one cutscene in that previous mission. So it would lose so much time. So even though it's not that hard, it's only if done optimally, it's a 14 and like a 14.5-second sequence. I always make sure I keep a safety save for right after that. So thankfully I don't need it, but we're gonna be all right here. So we don't have to do the vid comics because this is New Game Plus. If this were an any % run, we would have to do the vid comics. So we just exit and skip them.
The vid comics have their whole own speedrunning scene with various old gods and new champions. That has its whole own history that we won't go into here, but that's worth checking out as well. So coming up, we have Annihilation Nation, and this planet is going, or not planet, it's a space station, I think. That's no moon. It's going to start with a whip jump onto an out-of-bounds rock, which you can't stand on, but you can charge off of, which is going to let us skip a large section of this death course here, and it looks really cool. And then we're going to see another turret proxy up out of bounds so that we can charge over the buildings here and get to the end of the level as very fast as possible. Into the next boss fight where we use the Rhino for the first time. We actually have the Rhino V4 instead of the fully upgraded version. The reason we do that is because it's faster to kill certain bosses with the V4 than it is the V5, because the V5 triggers more invincibility frames. And there's another trick you can do with it. It doesn't work on every boss, but we'll explain that when we come to the Courtney Gears fight coming up soon.
Okay, I need your bless RNGs in the chat right now. Wait, is that which is the one that didn't get removed? Is it the give? What's like the dumpy looking dude holding out his arms? You know what emote I'm talking about? I need that. I need the good luck emote. What's the good luck emote? So just spam good luck emotes. I need them right now. This is called Scrunchless. This is a trick where you skip Scrunch, the monkey. Here's Scrunch, and he's gonna stand on that button, and we're just gonna leave him behind with all those killer robots because we don't like him.
We're gonna desert him, surrounded by killer robots.
This trick looks way easier than it actually is.
A very small part of this beam is actually solid, like at the sides, and you can glide along that to save roughly 18 seconds. And that used to be the hardest trick in the run. It's still probably top 5. But it's really good that he got that first try, because it loses roughly 40 seconds if you miss it once.
Yeah, I have a streak going. I've never missed that a single time in a marathon run, and if I missed it this run, I was gonna get clowned on. So I'm pretty stoked that I hit that. I will always take a run in a marathon where I don't miss Scrunchless. This boss fight is awful, and Wiffle's gonna tell you why.
So this guy, the Terror of Talos, aka Billy, what we do is jump on him and then try and trap him next to a wall, but if he gets away from you, he'll go into a different phase. Where he'll just fly off and you have to kill a whole load of killer ninjas, and that loses a metric ton of time, but luckily he managed to keep him in hit stun until the end of the fight, which is very good.
All right, so coming up after this little sequence right here is what is currently not the hardest strat in this entire game. There is one strat that's harder, but it's the hardest strat that is still RTA viable. It is called Obani Draco Triple Charge. It involves doing back-to-back frame-perfect inputs at 60 frames per second. I will go for it exactly one time, and we'll see what happens.
You paused your stream again.
Oh, that's my bad. I minimized OBS. So we'll see what happens. Wish me luck again, chat, but maybe I'm getting a little greedy. Can't ask for luck twice, right? It can't possibly work 2 times. Here we go. And of course it does not. All right, so if I had gotten it, you know what? We've got some time. I'll go for it one more time.
Okay. You can become the second runner to get this trick, but the first runner to do it without a turbo controller.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
He got it.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
All right.
Insane.
That's not, the hard part's not over.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I've never actually done this trick.
No!
Oh, okay.
That's what I was afraid of. There's a mud cycle that is really, really tough to hit. And if you're not, I thought I spaced it out appropriately. But again, I put a little bit too much mustard on it. So too much mustard makes the hot dog, or too much mustard makes the teeth all gray, as they say.
They do say that. So now we're going to see both the Zoomer version of this planet and the Boomer version of this planet. This is a clip out of bounds that lets us just do a nice, slow, controlled charge to the end of the level. It's not going to give anyone too much energy, not cause any heart attacks, but it's very safe. And now we have the Courtney fight, which is rather complicated, but the main thing you need to know about this fight is that we use the Rhino V4 again. But usually she would have invincibility frames, but the way we get around that, some bosses, if you fire the nitro launcher at them before you fire the Rhino, for some reason it removes all of their invincibility frames and it lets us just do a lot of damage to them very quickly.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask for sour pleases in the chat for the Courtney Gears music, so can I get some belated sour pleases?
As a certified banger.
Pepsi Man had the right idea without me even having to say a thing.
Heck yeah.
So good on you, Pepsi Man. You've won the day. Yeah, you know what? I'll take it. I still technically got the double frame perfect. So I'll take
you got
that.
the hard part.
Yeah, I just
coming
didn't.
Up, we have the only part of the game that actually has an in-game timer, which causes certain people who will remain nameless to become fixated on this IL and this IL only. But the going phrase nowadays, it used to be if you can't get a 50, you're a fraud. But now it's if you can't get a 51, I don't know, you suck or something. We didn't actually workshop that.
51.05? No, that was 0.5. If it was 2.5, that'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be probably world record, I think. I don't know.
I think pretty close to it, yeah.
But that 51 still very, very good.
I'm such a not fraud.
So now we have access to VidComic 1, 3, and 4. Usually you would need 2 to be able to skip number 3, but with some fancy inputs and a frame-perfect trick, you have to hit square and X on the same frame, therefore it's frame perfect.
It's still frame perfect, it still counts.
You can skip both VidComic 3 and 4 and gain access to the next planet without having access to VidComic 2, which is pretty cool. And coming up, we have Metropolis, which is a sort of platforming jungle gym. It has the coolest movement sequence in the game, in my opinion, nowadays.
I definitely agree. I don't know many people who disagree with that. Like, when this planet is done optimally, it looks gorgeous.
So what we see here is a proxy into a wrench swing into a double jump to gain even more height than you would be able to, and then we whip jump to an out-of-bounds building and then charge straight into the boss fight. That is... that makes me feel a kind of way. And then we're going to jump on a lamppost, whip jump off this lamppost, and barely make it to this platform. Side flip into a grav ramp, which is going to shoot us up into the sky. We're going to do an instant whip, and then a whip jump over to this tree, which you can't stand on, but you can charge off to do one last whip jump back to the ship, and that is just a great Metro. Well done.
Thank you. I'll take that. I will definitely take that. There are so many spots that can go wrong. I love that too, because I feel like this game tends to be a little difficult to like gauge the difficulty of. Like, it's runners will always tell you stuff is hard or stuff is easy, but I feel like a lot of the times it's not always easy for the lay person to be able to tell. But you know, like, if you watch 20 minutes of this game and then you watch that planet, you know that that's a hard planet.
Coming up, we have Crash Site, which is where we see the real power of the movement in this game. This planet is basically very difficult casually, but in the speedrun it is bisected by 2 massive whip jumps over a huge gap, which takes us straight pretty much to the end of the level, if he can actually make it without messing up the movement.
Hey, what the heck?
Okay, so now he has the master plan. He knows Dr. Nefarious's intelligence, and we're going to see the second whip jump straight back to the ship, and that is the end of the level.
Yeah, and for all the people who were paying attention to my interview where I talked about the what this category is when I said it's no quit exploit, the item that I got at the end of Crash Site, the Geheimplan, as it says in German, that is the item that we put in the vendor to skip half the game. Which, by the way, we never actually touched on that. German is indeed the fastest language. I'm not just playing in German for kicks, although I do love the German language. It is the fastest language. It's faster than English by 3.7 seconds. And previously, I think if you look at my AGDQ 2016 run, that will be in Spanish. German is 0.2 seconds faster than Spanish. So take that to the bank. Wait, Whipple, do you want to do the J-Hobbs or should I?
Sure, I can do my best rendition of J-Hobbs' monologue.
Okay.
So when Insomniac made these games, what they like to do is put the end of the planet right near the beginning. So right now he's at the end of the planet. They actually designed the planets as sort of a circle, so you can actually just go straight back to the beginning from the end. I should have rehearsed this.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me see if I can recite it from memory. There's I used this as my gold split sound for a long time, which was J-Hobbs and Spike Vegeta explaining it when I was doing my Ratchet and Clank 1 run, way long ago. It's Spike Vegeta going, he's at the end of the planet, and then J-Hobbs goes, so basically actually I don't remember it either, but it's very funny and you should check it out.
For sure.
Anyway, Instaclip is coming up. Well, I did. I'm so sorry. Instaclip is coming up, and I will take over. This is a hard trick, and it's not that hard because I hit it first try. So take that, game. And
he makes it look easy, folks.
We're actually coming up to the second to last planet already. It's been a joyous half hour with you, Twitch chat. I'm gonna miss you all dearly. But if you're enjoying this run, or you want to see some other Ratchet and Clank runs, or I don't know, you just want to come on over and tell me to shut up forever, you can feel free to follow my Twitch channel, CapnWiffle's Twitch channel. You can go to speedrun.com/RAC for obviously Ratchet and Clank. Oops, I messed up this strat, so I got to do a cheeky little backup. Okay, we're in there. And you can find basically any Ratchet and Clank game that you played as a kid, or you really loved, or you really remember, and you can see speedruns of it, and you can follow all those streamers. Our community is a very dedicated, and we have a lot of runners in our community. People wouldn't expect it. The PlayStation games, they're not always the most watched by the speedrunning community at large, but PlayStation games in general, they have some of the best speed games I've ever seen. So if you're enjoying this, please do the due diligence of checking out some other Ratchet and Clank runs and other Ratchet and Clank runners. They deserve a lot of love as well.
I 100% agree with everything said there. This is probably the coolest proxy. He does a proxy into a wall bounce into a hyper strike to barely make it to that platform. That's really cool. Also, shout out Size Matters just to add on to the end of that little monologue there. He didn't go for the coolest trick in the run there. He didn't quite get ladder clip because he's not a cool kid. But this is a very precarious whip jump. He gets to the cutscene trigger. Okay, he made it with the harbor. If you miss that, you die and go back to the beginning of the planet. And runs aren't made and lost there. That is.
He's not kidding. He's not kidding. You can get all the way to the end of the planet, or all the way to the end of the run, be on PB pace, and then miss that one trick. It is truly a coin flip in a lot of circumstances. So I will definitely take getting set up with the trigger. Fun little fact here: the cutscene for this boss loads if you hold forward. It loads 1 second faster. And now we're on the final boss.
Until like a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
he's going to try and beat this boss without him going into his second phase. This is Dr. Nefarious. So what we're going to do is throw a bunch of turrets and then try and get him into the most optimal position to start throwing nitro bombs and rhino shots at him to deal as much damage as quickly as possible, so that before he finishes his attack animation to go into the second phase, he's actually dead. So hopefully he gets this in sort of 5 or 6 rhino bombs before he manages to make it, and he did. Okay, that's good. And now he's just got to tap it in. He's got to hit the Bio-Obliterator with 16 sniper shots, and that's going to be
7. Time is coming up, by the way.
It's coming up, yeah.
9, 10. When I get to 16, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and time.
It's like a low 30. That's very respectable. You definitely beat your AGDQ run.
Yeah, by just a little bit, I would say. Just a little bit. Yeah, so that is Ratchet and Clank 3, Up Your Arsenal, New Game Plus, No Quit Exploit. Done in, I'm watching the playback now, 30 minutes, and that was definitely like 15.8. So I'll absolutely take that. This has been a very, very tumultuous day for me. Like I said before, I did spend the majority of today in the hospital. I had a lot of trouble breathing, which is actually kind of funny because some of you may know me from singing opera in the past at GDQs and singing in the Kingdom Hearts stuff. My very first time I ever sang opera at a GDQ, they always told me, the person told me I had bad breathing patterns. Someone in the YouTube comment section told me I had bad breathing patterns. And today I woke up and my breathing patterns were so bad I had to go to the hospital. So this has been a very crazy day, and as of 2 hours ago, it's also my birthday. So it was the best birthday present I could have ever had was being able to share this game that me, Wiffle, and many other people love to death with all of you guys. So thank you all so much. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon.
All right. And now I've got a couple more donations from that run. We've got a $250 donation from Anonymous that says, gotta donate for Zem's run, putting in a little extra this year since we need organizations like MSF. And one more, Arapthos for $25, who says, great to see my favorite streamer, Zem92, doing what he does best on the big screen. And let's see another big happy birthday for Zem. We're so glad that you're okay, and what an incredible run. This is actually it for me. This is the end of my host shift, but it has been such an absolute pleasure. We have met every Jacob, Woomy, and Unmet Bed today. So, stay cute, chat. I'm going to hand you over into the very capable hands of Prolix right after this Twitch ad.
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2020 Online. I'm your host, Prolix. We've got lots more excellent speedruns coming up for you all, including Dead Core, Darksiders Genesis, and then Bioshock Infinite. But first, let's send it to the interview team who has prepared another daily recap for us all.
Hello, everyone? Kung Fu Fruit Cup back here with another daily recap. Tonight we are joined by Kizaron and Spike and YKB. So that's Spike, Vegeta, and Yellow Killer Bee, for those who don't know. How you guys doing?
Doing great. I like you using our more personal names. I like it.
You know, I mean, but that's just how we know each other. I feel like we should just let the world know that too. All right, well, tonight we're going to be looking over some more clips from our favorite moments of the last 24 hours to see our best high-flying moments. So we are going to start with Keys. What did you like today?
Well, I'd be remiss to not talk about Benja's run of Gunvolt Chronicles. So it's always amazing to watch any sort of Mega Man movement, especially when it's in the style of the Mega Man X games. This is Mega Man if it were anime, which it hurts me on the inside to root for anime.
This is like 12 X's. This is crazy.
This is 37 X's at the minimum. But Benja just blitzes through this. Like, you want high flying. He has such sick movement tech, blitzes through this, and then just at the end of the clip, you're going to see him take out a boss in a matter of seconds. He just spams an attack and that boss is gone. Not only does he belittle the boss, but he elevates himself to godlike status with such high flying movement.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a very anime run, but it was very fun. All right,
now, speaking of anime,
well, let's get into something, I mean, even cuter, honestly. This has one of the cutest main characters I've ever seen in my entire life, because I'm like super obsessed with elephants. But I loved the Yono and Celestial Elephants run, not only because you're a very cute elephant, but also because there were so many moments where the runner was just like, you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and pop out over this wall. Like, if you keep charging the wall, you can just kind of go over it or go around it. Like, it was a constant run full of absolute game-breaking moments, and it was so much fun to watch because of that. I loved every bit. Like, you can see him hitting a guard, and then just the way that you kind of like charge, you just suddenly go out of bounds, go over the wall. Like, why not? Let's just skip every section. I loved it. I thought it was really fun and really cute.
these are the kind of runs that make GDQs. All of a sudden, just this cute little elephant launches up in the air. I want to bring up my high flying moment right here. We got Donkey Kong Country 2. Not exactly flying, but the fastest climbing you're going to see. They might as well look like they're flying. All of a sudden, flying through Chain Link Chamber right here. This is the Warpless category by Tonkatsu earlier today. And it knows no bounds, no limit to how fast they can blaze through the stage. And now they're going to get here in this corner, set it up, get Dixie behind him, swap characters, try to clip Diddy into the wall, and in 3, 2, whoop! I was 1 second off, and all of a sudden we're flying through the stage. Said we can't warp, but we can, in fact, start zipping through the stages. This was such a pure, fun speed run today. Make sure you guys go back and check that out.
Yes, absolutely. And I should have mentioned earlier, but make sure you are using your GDQ Wings emotes during this segment to show us which run you have liked the best. So you can get some, throw some in for the clips earlier we saw if you like the Gunvolt or Yono as well. And then we have Donkey Kong Country. Also, get your GDQ Wings in here if you, speaking of wings, YKB.
Yeah, so this was the Mario Kart 8 relay, and this was done by Amber, Jacob, and Pianist 15. And I mean, this whole run was great, but this specific clip was definitely the highest flying moment of the entire relay. Like, basically, I mean, they're flying fast the whole time. As we know, Mario Kart's always great, lots of great movement, lots of routing, but this was by far, if you watch right here, you think you're gonna land here? Nope, still going, and now they basically skip almost half the track, it feels like. So, I mean, if you're talking about high flying, I definitely had to include this clip.
Absolutely. Speaking of, it was Amber's birthday yesterday, and I think a good honorable mention game was the one we just saw on the marathon, which was Zem's Ratchet and Clank run, and now it's his birthday, actually.
Yeah, so many birthday runs.
Soldier.
Can you believe we delayed the marathon 5 hours just to make sure it transitioned perfectly from Amber's birthday right over to Zem's birthday? Lovely stuff we got here on GDQ. Very
we
thoughtful.
do what we can.
I know. So, are there any other honorable mentions that you would like to throw your GDQ Wings on for?
Tons of great runs we've seen, obviously, throughout the marathon the last 24 hours. I do want to throw in Gymnast absolutely killed it today with Twilight Princess HD.
Yes.
I've loved watching Twilight Princess speedruns for over 10 years now. Every time they go in for one of those long jump attacks with the Gale Boomerang, super, super cool. And Gymnast, the consummate professional speedrunner, nailing tricks left and right. And he's like, whatever, I do this every day.
I know, it looked so easy for him. They were so perfect. I would just love to really quickly mention the Alien Isolation run, because not only was the run really entertaining, but the runner had just, Dreo had just an incredible amount of energy. He was so much fun, so positive, like such a good sport all throughout the run. And it kept me up, honestly. I was trying to go to bed, but I just couldn't sleep because I just loved watching his run and his energy so much.
Yeah. Tons of awesome runs that we've gotten to witness, and we're not even halfway through the week, everyone. Again, for all these high-flying moments, continue to spam your GDQ wings throughout the week. We're telling you to spam in the chat. No limits, keep going.
Time.
Again, shout outs to all the runs so far, and we will see you all for even more unbelievable stuff coming up in the next day, including a bunch of Sonic stuff, among other things, tomorrow. And you know he likes to go fast. So with that, we'll send it back up to the front for even more awesome speedruns, and we'll see you later for more GDQ recaps. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
Wonderful. Thank you all very much for that segment. Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2020 Online. I'm your host, Prolix, as I mentioned before. Coming up next, a run of Deadcore, No Major Glitches, Speedrun Percent by Imawaka. Yes, that's right. The category itself is Speedrun Percent. As your host, I'll be reading your donation comments that you leave when you go to the website. Click the donate link. You can leave a comment and we may read it on air. We got $50 here from Star Fox, who says, GDQ is always my favorite time of the year. I have to agree with you on that one. It's wonderful to be back here with you all once again. Thanks so much for tuning in and possibly considering donating to our charity here, Doctors Without Borders. Again, every donation you make goes directly to Doctors Without Borders. There's a $25 donation from Iulius III, who says, love how the GDQ community continues to come together to help make the world a better place. Especially in a time like this, it's a great reminder that we're not alone. Thank you to everyone for your help in making this event happen. Hey, you're most welcome, and we appreciate the donation. Echo025 donated $30 here and said, let's get that Resident Evil 3 remake incentive met. Here's my contribution. Thanks for that contribution. Yeah, they are referring to the upcoming bonus game incentive for a Resident Evil 3 remake run that will be added to the schedule, but only if we raise the total of $80,000. We've already raised over $10,000 toward that, so it's looking great, but keep putting your donations toward that. If it's your first time donating, you may not be familiar with it, but just click on the big old donate button. It's below the stream. It's at gamesdonequick.com. You could go to gamesdonequick.com/donate. However you get there, when you're there, after you choose how much you're donating, there'll be a spot near the bottom where you can say, yeah, I'd like to add an incentive. And then you just scroll around, find that bonus game 3, Resident Evil 3 Remake, and it'll put your dollars toward that 80,000 total that we want to raise to see that added to the schedule. A lot of donation activity coming here from our viewers overseas. Orion Zal donated $25, said, good morning from the UK. Thank you to all the runners, commentators, hosts, and the tech crew for their great work. Here's to another amazing SGDQ. Moonobi donated $25 and said, thanks for all the cool speedruns. Greetings from Vienna, smiley face. Olfair donated $20 and said, person from Norway here. I'm so glad GDQ is back again. It may not be the GDQ we expected, but it's still perfect. Less than 3. Hope you can tell everyone in the crew that you're doing an amazing job. This wouldn't have happened without any one of you. Thank you for the kind words there. And of course, for your support for Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization that works in over 70 countries around the world. A big part of MSF's current operations is providing humanitarian aid to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. For the first time ever, MSF has recently started medical work in the US. In New York City, MSF partnered with local organizations to improve infection prevention and control measures and opened temporary relief stations offering free showers and toiletries and information on additional services. MSF staff are assisting with contact tracing and the development and dissemination of health promotion materials. Just wanted to give you some more information about the charity and the fantastic work they're doing. We're bringing you these speedruns as wonderful entertainment and an opportunity to promote the charity's wonderful work, and just really appreciate everything they do and all of the donations that you all put in to raise money for them. You know, I'm seeing a lot of emotes in the chat. There's that GDQ wings out there and whatnot. You know what? I forgot. I can't use my emotes right now because I'm not subscribed. Let me just click this button here. Let's see, subscribe. Whoa, subscribe free? What's this? Well, if I just click this button, that reminds me, everyone, I should tell you. Did you know that if you have Amazon Prime, you also have Prime Gaming, aka the former Twitch Prime? Yep, that's right. And with Twitch Prime, one of the benefits they have is a free channel subscription to any channel of your choice once a month. So don't forget to check the status there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see a few of you may have forgotten to use your Twitch Prime recently, just like I myself. Here, let's get some wings in chat. Thank you so much. If you did not know, I should tell you as well that all sub revenue and revenue from bits that Games Done Quick is making during this month will be going to Doctors Without Borders. So you are helping out the event, helping raise money for the charity by choosing to use your Prime Gaming subscription token here in this channel. So thanks so much for that. Honey Bunny donated $10 and said, I always look forward to GDQ, so I'm glad we're still able to get together in some capacity. Kudos to the staff, tech, and runners. Stay safe, everyone. And SGDQ 2020 Online is also brought to you by Olia. Olia is a new game by Skeleton Crew, a gorgeous fantasy adventure with precision traversal and lightning-fast harpoon combat. You could play the demo of Olia on Steam or visit olia.com for more information. That's spelled OLIJA.com. Have a donation here of $25 from Anonymous, and they say, I'm so glad SGDQ is happening. I had no idea. Best of luck to all the runners. Yeah, thank you, Anonymous. Yeah, I see that every event, and I couldn't agree with you more. I was the same way years ago. I had no idea when exactly GDQ events were scheduled for. They always caught me by surprise. I never noticed the trend. It was like January, and then the summer one was around July 4th. I mean, this year's different, of course, but there you go. Andrew donated $50 and said, hype for the best event of the year. Ooh, thank you very much. This is the